uh, Graham and Logan were in Bible quizzing, where they were memorizing entire books of the Bible to do Bible quizzing. So it was a developing time for them, getting a lot of word inside of them. It was something that was enjoyable, and they were able to interact with many kids their own age in the church. So everybody was growing, and it brought the family much better into unity and into a loving relationship with one another. And obviously lies were exposed and things were able to be revealed. And everything seems to be rolling along well. At that time, too, I knew that I wasn't supposed to stay at the casino anymore, because now there's no reason for me to be there. I had my physical healing, and the reason I was there, that I took the job, was because I didn't have it. And I felt the Lord speak to me in June, and there were a couple little things that He gave me to do, one of which was cleaning out the basement of the church office, which hadn't been done in quite some time. If there's nothing else, I'll head home. And He goes, "You're done?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm done." I said, "There's a lot of stuff that I don't know whether you want me to throw out." I said, "It's all over in this one corner." And he said, "Oh, I'll come down and look." And I don't think that he believed that I was done, but it was orderly and clean. I mean, clean. And it's an old concrete floor, tons of dirt everywhere. And everything was in great order. Like, his eyes were big when he walked downstairs. And I know that's the moment that things started changing, because they started giving me more hours. And before 2 weeks was up, I was there 20 hours a week. And so 7 hours turned into 20 hours in a couple weeks. And within 2 months, they created a new position and made me the facilities director. And I was there about 35 hours a week. And it wasn't long after that that they turned it into a salary position, and I was full time. So when God told me to quit my job and I had nothing to go to, I actually had put in for other jobs, and I actually had started working a job 4 days before I took the cleaning position at the church. And the hours that they told me it would be, I said, "I need off for this because I have to work at the church." Because I didn't have any income, so I needed the income. But I literally was there for a few days, and I knew it's not what God had for me. And so the one day I went into the boss, and it was only after a few days of work. And I said, "Look," I said, I know I can't continue doing this. I said, "The hours are not what you told me the hours are, and they're conflicting with the other thing that I have." I said, "And everything in me wants to keep this job because it pays better." I said, "But I know that's not where I'm supposed to be." And so I left, and all I did was the church, and that's when they offered me the job full time. This is August of 2015. I'm full, I started working for the church, and before Thanksgiving, before October, November comes, I'm already a full-time employee. At that same time, Rhoda had it on her heart to go and volunteer at one of the big crusades that Jonathan Shuttlesworth was doing in Philadelphia. And that was a supernatural testimony of provision in that situation. And she went and served. So in 2016, she was still volunteering here and there for Revival Today, Brother Jonathan Shuttlesworth, and I'm working at Champion. And so she's still technically a full-time stay-at-home mom, but because Irene was getting to school age, she was able to go and volunteer a little bit. And she actually got hired at Revival Today in March of 2016. So she went and she was just volunteering in the office, and she volunteered for 3 weeks straight. And the person in charge at the office came to her and said, "We would like to hire you, and we're going to pay you for the last 3 weeks." So all of the time that she was volunteering, they actually paid her for. I mean, what fantastic people, and and put her on staff. So she was on staff there until June of 2016, and in June of 2016, there was an issue that she was let go, and it was challenging, and I only knew what she told me. I mean, that's my wife, and I love these people, I trust these people at Revival Today, but I can only have the information that she gives me. I don't know anything else. So she was saying that she was fired without cause, is essentially what she was telling me. And she wanted to file for unemployment, and I said, absolutely not. We're not filing for unemployment against a ministry. It was like, we're just not doing it. And it was a long time later that I found out that in August of 2016, she actually, without my knowledge, sought an attorney and filed for unemployment without me knowing, against Revival Today. And that's not good. You don't do that. So that's the situation. I'm just trying to explain to you what the situation is. So it's like touch not mine anointed, right? With David and Saul. But in 2016, Irene turned 6 years old in August. My sons were 13 and 16 at the time. And Rhoda had not been employed with Revival Today for 3 months, but Brother Jonathan was holding an event, a crusade in Clarksburg, West Virginia, and the youth from our church was going to go and help with the Friday night service. And because at that point, Rhoda had started being involved with the youth at the church, she wanted to go to the event because the youth were going. And in me, I did not have peace about her going. I didn't think it was proper because she had been let go from Revival Today, and now this is a Revival Today event. Even though it's our youth going, I didn't think it was right for her to be inserted in that situation when they're trying to do an outreach. I didn't know what the dynamic would be like between their staff and her. And so I didn't really have peace. And in the end, my oldest son was going to be playing football that night. So he was going to be right down the hill from the house playing football. And it was actually our night as parents of football players to supply food before the game for the players. So she had to deliver food to the football field and then get Logan to the church so that he could go for the event. And it was at that point that she asked me she said, well, what if there's not enough vehicles to take the kids? I said, look, when you go to the church, if Logan can ride with someone else, then let him ride with someone else and you come back home. I said, if there's absolutely no one else to drive and there's extra kids that have to go, then you can drive down. Logan can ride with you and you can take the extra kids and go. And so Irene and I stood on the porch and we're waving just because, I figured she'd be back in 10 minutes after dropping Logan off. I had heated up some chicken nuggets for my daughter to eat, that's 6 years old, right? And I thought, well, I'll just make a few extra nuggets and I'll eat them myself because I haven't eaten, and this is my chance. So I literally had taken 2 bites of food, and I had a bite in my mouth, and the phone starts ringing, and it's an odd number, a West Virginia number that I didn't know. And I picked up the phone, and it was a man on the other end of the phone, and he said, I just want you to know that 2 of the girls are